We need a better picture of Mitch.
We do.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that one, but that's like the.
I mean, the fact that my face is in it is.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like we should
Pretty
get
rough.
like Uncle Mitch and use the John Candy with
Uncle
him on it.
Mitch.
Uncle Mitch. I feel like that should be the next one.
We could do that.
Well, y'all said I was coming in for my Oedipus event, so anything is better than that.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3. Let's get some more. Have your hands. Some more. Just give some more.
Why, hello, everyone out there, and welcome to My Whiskey Den, your favorite public access craft whiskey review show. I'm too tired. It's Monday, and it has been a long one. And Mike's toying with me. Down there, you're toying with me.
Toying with the logo.
Yeah. Welcome to My Whiskey Den, and we are happy to have everyone here with us today in the chat. Mike, thank you so much for being here as always. And Mitch dropping in again for our little Santa Fe Spirits comparison. So
It's a pattern.
We
have a Mitch pattern.
We have a Mitch pattern. It's a testing pattern. Could be what you would call it. It's a testing pattern.
Testing.
Some
Hazing.
Hazing. Oh, should there be hazing? I believe hazing should be in
Whip out the wicked pickle.
the wicked. Well, I have some, and I have other things. There may be a hazing.
Or no, that cherry shit. That's what.
There's a few, 2 or 3 things. Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a cherry one. That was awful.
Okay.
It was. So thank you everyone in the chat for being here bright and early. Thank you so much. But before we go a second further, Mike, do you want to tell everyone about the Bar Cart Co-op? I'll even give you control. Hands.
I'll click and do the business.
Jazz hands.
All right. We are proud members of the Bar Cart Co-op, which is a collection of friends who create content for the whiskey and other distilled spirits public. Amongst the shows we have on there are the Big Granddaddy, Distillers Talk with Alan Bishop and Christy Atkinson, which has been around for several years. You guys are messing around now. Distillers Talk, which is a deep dive nerd conversation with distillers and industry folk. Sometimes multi-part episodes with there. You want to get real on stuff? Actually, the most recent episode, if you want to learn how to build a gin mash bill, that would be one to look up right there, or read the most recent episode that was just on. But Distillers Talk, which comes out end of the week on all of your platforms. And then one piece at a time, Distilling Institute, where Alan will answer all of your distilling questions. Andy will put mash bills to the test. Those come out whenever he feels like it. They are rapid fire sometimes. Short, sweet episodes, viewer questions, etc. It's really great. Even if you're not going to distill, it's really cool to find out a lot of things from questions from home distillers and industry folks alike. Then the classiest and sexiest of the bunch, the Bourbon Turntable, which comes to you on every Wednesday on every platform, including YouTube. And that is the love of whiskey with the love of music, and hosted by Kevin and Drew. And they've got a lot of really great episodes, 2-parters, some with people like Todd Leopold, Nancy Fraley, Steve Gorman. They did Chip Tate. They did. Now I'm trying to remember Chris Tapp from the Cold Stairs was last week.
Yep.
Lot of really good ones coming up on Bourbon Turntable. And then you want to get into it. If you have ghosts, you have everything, which is Alan's paranormal podcast, which does dip into the spirits in the distilled spirits industry, but also just life in general, things that are weird, things that are not right. And people have experienced a lot of these crazy things. And along with the other stuff that Bar Cart Co-op does, they do a quarterly show, which last week just missed a quarterly show, which was Inside American Single Malt. This was a lot of fun. This was 2 hours. It could have gone a lot longer, but it had the people up there on the screen: Lenny Eckstein, Mark Viothaler, Chip Tate, and Murphy Quint, hosted by Kevin Rose and Alan Bishop. And it was a really great show to to catch a lot of really cool conversation happening between the distillers about American single malt, including trying each other's whiskeys. So they've done shows like this before, but them also like asking and answering questions of each other, which was really cool to watch.
And I want to thank everyone in the chat for that. Was Jesse, Paul, a couple other people that snuck in there. And that's a good thing to do if you're watching it, is not just watch it, but turn on the chat, because the chat for it was had a lot more discussions going on, even though they did field some questions from there. It was a pretty unique to have that extra piece on. You know what I mean? There's a lot more going on when you turn on the chat. So
yes,
please do that. Mitch, how you doing? Sorry we kept you there a really long time.
Living that dream. Also, shout out, and I don't know where the comments will be based off of this, but my girlfriend just said hello, so she stayed up to watch this. So I'm kind of sentimental.
Well, cheers. I'm gonna have a little sip there.
You want us to drop off the screen for a minute?
Oh no, we don't have to be alone. I've got a room.
I'd love to hear Herd's thoughts on Mitch's whiskey. I'm going to call it basement. I'm not going to call it a room.
How much money do you think Mitch spent on whiskey?
You don't really. I don't even really want to know that.
All right. So my thought on this one was, we recently, Mike and I, got to try the Kilkeegan unsmoked single malt whiskey. And I believe, Mitch, I don't know if you had the original, but I know you hadn't had the unsmoked version. So oddly, on this one, I want to start with the normal mesquite wood smoked one, because that's the way most everyone else in the country has had it, is they had it starting off. I know, totally weird, but
freaking me out, Pat.
I know it's more nuanced, but that's what I think. Seeing it that way is where I want to try going with this one. And I could be asked backwards, and it could backfire. But
so, have you said you've had this before, Mitch, or you've had?
I want to say I've had. I'm 90% sure I have down in Austin.
That's what I
had a Kilkeegan. But I don't know if they distribute up here, so I think I have a Santa Fe somewhere on the bar, and I don't really want to turn around and spend 20 minutes looking to see if I'm right.
Don't worry about that. But this one is the standard single malt that they do, where 30% of the malt is smoked with mesquite wood. This one's batch 15, standard orange label. You have seen on some of the other shows where the green label is the cask strength. The blue is the sherry wood finish, or sherry cask finish. And the most recent one, we'll get to in a minute, that's just like tan. Just a little tan. No explosive colors on that one. All right, so hold on here. I want to make sure Yep, definitely.
Yeah, that's the first time. Oh, God.
Yeah, and I'm like, did I make a mistake already? I'm like, nope, stick with the one on the left. And Spencer was saying we'll see what we think of it here after we do this, Spencer. I assume you have some water, Mitch.
I do, yes.
Okay, cool. Very good. Just a quick wash in between. Mike, are you making notes? Did I screw you up by
No, I am making notes because there's something that I remember saying the first time I ever had this, and I thought of it again because I was going to ask Mitch's opinion.
All right, well, very
good.
You're
you're done with my opinions.
What, the Fat Boy tasting notes? I love everything.
This one. Well, okay, I do have Fat Boy tasting note on this. However,
I will say you made me go and buy marzipan. I'd never had it, and then you kept talking about it, and I was like, "Hey, F it."
You were making fun of it.
I don't care.
You've done something that
I tried it, and it was delicious. I was like, "Oh, okay, well, yeah. I hope all my whiskeys taste like it."
Now you need to go buy bergamot because that's the other pretentious one.
Isn't that in Earl Grey or something? just take a good hit off of that.
Oh, hold on here. I think there's
Okay.
a plane randomly going
So,
over my house.
My
Emily, good
my
to see you.
my thing on the nose of this is the hint of, well, for me, I cannot help but think of brimstone. But for me, no, hold on. But for me, it is that you have two brothers. Okay, one of the brothers likes to fight. That's brimstone. The other one is more of a diplomat and negotiator, and that would be the Kilkeegan single malt.
So I get that, even though I don't have any brothers.
I don't either.
Cheers. So I'm going to say a really weird tasting note because obviously it's smoke forward.
Mm-hmm.
But I get berries and cream.
Okay, the
No.
cream.
Underneath that, there's this lovely like blueberry or blackberry note and this like soft, sweet vanilla that just like tings off there. Just for a moment. It's just, it's great.
Yep, I was going to say the cream note was one that I was getting actually in this a lot on the second half of it.
You want to know my fat boy note for this one on the nose?
Yeah.
It's not just meaty smoke. This is, if you're using a smoker, this is some meat that's got some or some wood that's got meat grease on it. That's the nose that I got.
That's my tasting note for what were we just talking about? Brimstone. Like if you just imagine eating a charcoal brisket, that like fat with like the brown sugar and spices you had dripped onto it, that's what my tasting note for like brimstone is.
Yeah. So yeah, mine for brimstone is you've opened the smoker, you're getting ready to smoke, you just open the smoker and you get all the soot and ash and grease and meat and everything else that's coming off of there is just hit you in the face.
The first wave.
And it's beautiful.
Oh, I love it. My favorite thing to do is give it to people who like peat. And I'm like, oh, you like aggressive peat? Oh, the more the better. Well, let's try this. And they're like, what did you do? It's like,
you want to get smacked around? You want to feel it tomorrow? Yeah.
Gargle before bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you mean by a lighter, more nuanced version of that. But I think that is a little because this one is at, oh my God, my eyes are terrible. 46%. Where if you do the cast strength version, I believe you're at 56 to 60 between different releases.
Yeah. I would have loved to have tried that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's we're all excited about what else he's.
That sounds okay. My other fat boy note on the nose, because aside from the wood with meat grease on it, Texas toast, buttered, basically heavily buttered toasted bread, thick bread.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, are you gonna do like the garlic butter on the toast, like
no, just
the prime quarter toast?
Butter, and you put it on the griddle. You put the toast on the griddle to toast it.
Good, because I was gonna say, I was thinking more cast iron. Like there's this little, like this extra earthiness to it.
Yeah.
But also, like to be honest, there's like this. For me, we're talking about brimstone and stuff, but this is one on the nose that with a little bit like this heather, honey, lighter side hidden in here. It also reminds me of like an actual scotch where I think some people on the nose would have a hard time saying, hey, this is American.
Right, yeah. It has that kind of ashy more to me than like wood note. But
let me throw this thought out there. So if this one of the smoked American like wood smoked single malts, you've got Del Bach, you've got Balcones, you've got this. Comparatively to me, this is the Lagavulin of the smoked single malts, as opposed to the Ardbeg and Lafroig, which would be the other two.
Okay, but then this, yeah. I will bring this one in because I always like to bring them in. There's Andalusia's Striker. I believe that was the one we had it, and that was another one that when I had it, to me, what I want to put in the smoke show later this year, because it is.
But this is a sexier, seductive smoke, I think.
This one,
I really like
yes.
this smoke. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
you
is-
too. It's the which is why I went Lagavulin, because it's like, oh,
yeah, I guess definitely. I guess I heard Lafroig first, and I thought you were going that way, but no, Lagavulin definitely. If you were going amongst those three,
Which is awkward because I don't like Lagavulin 16.
no, well,
But it's because of the way it ends. It's not about the smoke. I love all the other, like the younger Lagavulins. Fantastic. The 16, not my.
That's
it
a good
depends
point.
on which Octomore, because they can be
yes.
all over the board. I've got one that is mild. It's still peaty, but it is mild.
And I know I
It's
had one of the
8.2 or 8.3. I can't remember which one I've got, but
I
it's
had one of the 4s and the 6s that were like definitely it coated your mouth. Like
Yeah.
it was I don't want to say it wasn't light, it was very heavy on those two. Or at least for me at that time. It was pretty coating. So, all right, here I'm gonna dab into this.
double check which Octomore, because don't want to misspeak. 6.1. Sorry, I was off by 2 releases. 6.1 is mine. That's mild.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
Because you got that, for me it gets that ashy wood note, but it's not heavy. It's round, it goes in. I think you were right. If you were comparing these to those 3 scotches, this would be more of the Lagavulins because it's how rounded. Man, I'm getting this nice honey on the bottom of my tongues right now too. Sorry, I'll let you guys give a couple of thoughts on it after your next sip, but definitely nice and oily too.
This really balances light notes really well against that ash, in my opinion.
I get like honey cream soda.
I've had honey cream soda. I'm trying to remember.
But yeah, then like it's just like the hint of ash. It's the leftovers of a campfire from the night before. You know how it's just lightly around. It
Had a light rain on it while you slept.
Not heavy. Oh,
Yeah, Dave, I'm not comparing it to Lagavulin. I'm saying if you were to take these smoked American single malts, it would be the Lagavulin of the Americans as opposed to others being the Lafroig and the Ardbeg, comparatively.
yeah, a little more rounded and stuff. Not saying they're the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I got cream, honey, dates, cedar, tobacco, and cocoa.
Cedar, huh?
Man, that's good.
Which batch is this one?
15.
15. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a little more, it's more elegant would be a nice way of putting it compared to some other ones.
I agree.
Yes.
Mitch, you've been quiet. You've just been making noises up there. I want some answers, damn it.
So give me one more sip because there's a note in there that it's familiar, but I can't figure it out.
All right, we can hold out for. Well,
Marzipan. Bergamot.
Gilded. Right. So I mean, it's lovely. It starts ash and then develops, in my opinion, to more wood smoke from ash, if that makes any sense. And then there's a honey note. It's a dense honey note, which is really weird because I originally thought it was all kind of like high sweet notes, but it's not. It's kind of like a dark honey that is interspersed with kind of that cream from that berries and cream I was talking about earlier, with a hint of, you said fig earlier. I'm not going to go fig, but there's some sort of fruit in there. I'm not going to say citrus. I'm not going to say like apple or pear, but it is.
No, you're right,
really
but it's really bright.
Yes.
And I don't want to call it grapefruit, but
Yeah. So that's like those are the high notes that I think are balancing it out. If that makes sense.
God, that's gonna bug me. I can't peg that note. And I think, and on the nose, what I was trying to think of was like this. When I was comparing it to like in general, more of a Scottish whiskey, I think it's more of kind of the honey on the nose is like a waxy honeycomb. Like instead of being like the baked note, that's a little bit of what I'm getting on it, or at least that's what my brain's pulling into it. Like a honeycomb that someone like took a lemon and drizzled a little bit over the top of it, and black pepper. Where you're supposed to just eat the honeycomb. Have you guys ever done that?
Oh yes.
Okay, just making sure.
You don't touch 300 pounds by saying no to like delicious sweet things. Then I went on a diet.
All right. So now what I want this isn't going to be as far because Mike has seen the other couple expressions from them, but now I want to switch over to, after we have a couple little quick sips and wash out our palate, the unsmoked version. So this is the baseline that they never put out. That is always just kind of hanging out around before smoking it.
And now it's out.
Now it's out. You can get all these.
Yep.
Most states, 41 states, I believe, if you go to their website, will take you to a place where you can purchase these yourself, which I recommend you do. And
Please do.
They have one of the cool companies that sometimes does like sample packs at 200.
Oh, that gift pack is pretty sweet.
Awesome. Sorry, if you're looking to like stay a little in budget, a gift pack of all four at 200 milliliters is a wonderful gift to give to people because it's just enough for a sample night with people. You know what I mean? But you get to try everything.
Had something caught in my throat there.
We can send the link up later in a minute if we want to.
That might work.
Someone's stealing your catalytic converter, Mike.
They're being dorks. Hey, I do have a link that I'm going to share here if I can get it to post up for everybody, because we got somebody who's kind of coming out of retirement. Our buddy Ed is doing his St. Patrick's Day live stream with the old man this Friday. So please check out Ed from Rotgut. Go to the channel, look it up. Yeah, he's doing his live stream. I'll be curious to see how this one goes because they tend to go south in a good way, and then they come back, and then they go south.
It's kind of like what was it, Varsity Blues or the Pukin Rally?
Yeah, or just crazy skits, which that's always fun too.
But
oh god, what was it? The mystical whiskey ox?
Yeah.
He'd milk it for whiskey.
Those are great.
Not far from here, there's it's like a farm, but it's a petting farm because it only has farm animals, and they have those Scottish cows there that you can go up and just like hang out with and like pet. And I was like, because he came to Louisville for a little bit. I was like, dude, you've got to go. And he's like, I want to, but I don't think I can. Seeing Ed try and like ride one of those would have been the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Or perhaps milk it.
There's still time. So
all right. First thing I get is bubble gum on the nose.
And like I said, I know this is probably going completely reverse. We should have done the other way, but I wanted to go what everyone had gotten and the order it came out in. So bubble yum. Or
I don't know. I'm so far removed from chewing gum. I just know I can smell gum.
That's not Bazooka Joe.
Maybe a big league chew.
It's close.
It's pink bubble gum. Yeah, that's for sure.
I think I maybe think Big League Chew because it was a little bit flatter.
We should do a show where we pair gum and whiskey.
I haven't chewed gum in decades.
Yeah, I'm not a gum chewer.
Either am I. So that
Because when growing up, I was one of those kids that did not understand like you're supposed to spit gum out. So I'd just like chew it until I lost the flavor and swallow it and be like, another piece, please. So they'd only shut me up for like 25 seconds, right? And my parents were like, that doesn't digest. Stop. And I thought I was going to die at like 6 years old. So I stopped chewing gum.
That was a quick scare from the parents.
Then you get a hold of some fruit stripe where it lasts about 7 seconds.
But
What a great 7 seconds.
Yeah, on this one, after that one, it's a little bit less than I remember, but there, I had to get a little bit deeper. It has this effervescence of like almost like a little bit of a white wine. Maybe not a white wine, but like I'm getting the edge of grape, honey. Whew. Sorry, I'm huffing right now. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Hey, Donald, it's good to see you.
Whiskey huffer.
There are worse things you can huff.
Honey, light cream, a little bit of lemon zest, meringue. Maybe like a lemon meringue. A little bit of a whip. Oh. All right, you guys have to tell because I can't. I think I'm starting to get all buzzed up off the huffing.
So I definitely get bubble gum. There's also, to me, pear back there, which to me, right, when I smell white wine, I'm like, grape juice. And sometimes I get pear. So I kind of get what that white wine note was. So I don't know if it's my hand because I washed my hands or like this glass, but I'm getting like a scented soap note. So it's probably my hands, but I didn't get it on the last one. So, but what is that? And then there's a berry in there.
Wow.
Yeah, there's definitely berries.
Which one is it? So that's another thing I don't eat is berries. Chewing gum, berries, not fans. So it's very hard for me to remember which berry is what.
Donald, I feel like maybe you should expound upon why Singapore is illegal, or chewing gum is illegal in Singapore. I'd love to know the reasoning behind.
Trying to keep it clean, man. If you
Maybe.
don't chew bubble gum, you can't spit it on the sidewalk. An American got caned for that, like a long time ago. It's in a Weird Al Yankovic song, man. Get with the times.
Oh, I'm okay with that. You know, like, are you that person that left it under the table? Maybe you should have gotten a crack in the ass. I don't know. I mean, just saying.
What was that song?
So I already had a sip of this, and
I too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man,
Keep getting like berries and cream on cereal.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's not quite cream.
Mm-mm.
It's almost like frosting, more frosting than cream.
It starts off like creamy because I think oiliness, but the frosting part I think is the second half because it does lighten up, and it has like Christmas cookie frosting, like a Santa on there.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, and it's just it. I think it's part of a Christmas cookie is part of it in here.
You get invited to a cookie party next holiday, just bring this.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You guys do your thing. I got mine.
Oh, Fruit Loops? Yeah, I was trying to figure that out because it is a mash of berries, right?
Speaking of diabetes,
I don't have a picture of that.
Cocktail that Adina made. Dear Lord.
I hope she taught them to make it down there because that looked delicious.
Oh, I mean, yeah, talking about like major fat boy notes of that. It's like, God.
For me, this is just the right amount of oiliness for this. It's like medium, but it just rolls everything together. It's very married. Just flavors kind of present themselves. Nothing jumps out. It's fun. And the end right now is where I'm starting to get like this chocolate cocoa bean on the sides of my mouth. It just keeps, the flavors just keep going. The finish is very long on this. And I'm almost getting more out of this than I did the original one. Maybe that's because we flip-flopped, but
I think it's the sweetness is what it is. The sweetness is more powerful.
And you can still hit like some of those there's some hidden notes in it. Mitch, let's hear your thoughts. I see you pondering up there.
I was pondering. Such a good word. So my first thought was going back to honey. If you've ever had that honey that like crystallizes around the edge of your jar,
yeah, buddy.
Like that first initial like ting, it was like crystallized honey. Like there was zero water involved. Like it was sharp. It was dark yet super sweet. There's just a lot of good stuff in here. So I'm having trouble figuring out what the berry note is because it's I don't know if fleeting or flittering is the right word, but I'll get just like little pops of it going against the baseline of just kind of this, unctuous malt.
I get like a blackberry and a raspberry, at least in there. Like it's weird. There's like a little dark berry and a little bit of the red berry in there. More dark, more of like a blackberry for me right now.
Here's the berry, but I kind of get
gooseberry.
To me, it's almost
like a
artificial.
almost. Yeah, there's like almost like I remember a kid eating mulberries off the tree, but like mulberry, or you get like a very very purple grape.
Okay.
Where it's just too sweet. Not saying this is too sweet. Where it's just like, oh, that's not normal.
Something like a black grape. Nope. Oh, God. Yeah,
I'm gonna kill this whole sample.
I'm getting a lot of this like light chocolate. I'm having a hard time. I can tell if it's light or dark coming through on the second half, and it's neat when it just pops up. It like bright. It like adds a coating to the berries for me.
Oh, okay. You said that chocolate. It's like, all right, now that's what reminds me of, not 100%, but ever had those chocolate covered, and I'll mispronounce it, acai berries?
Yeah, sure, eat some.
Not exactly the berry, but that same thing where you just
not as heavy.
Yeah.
Like half of the flavor you get from that, but yeah, I get that.
And those acai, it sounds like I'm saying West Side, but those are West Side. Those are a little more tart. You gotta say it like Cartman. You guys.
These berries. It's the West Side berries. Got it. Oh,
what is this?
Check, since St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Irish cream, Jameson, the cold brew. Oh, all right. I'm reading that. That sounds like definitely one to have.
You lost me at Drambuie.
That would not work out for you.
I was reading Richards.
All right, here.
Hey,
So-
whatever you're doing, it helps you make a good cocktail, Richard. So you do you, buddy.
Yeah. Whatever you got planned in the evening, it's all good.
Yeah,
So-
this is so much more desserty.
Than I expected.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And it's more, and it's subtle. So like I just found it when we first had it and talked to Colin. I don't say I found it odd that this didn't make it out before the smoked version. Not to say that it wouldn't. I like the vision and going with it, and I love the smoked stuff. But this is a hell of a base for someplace. You know what I mean?
yes.
Big time.
Oh yeah, almost. I get more as I went back in and had more and more of it. It's more of a oh God, what's the damn cookie? Snickerdoodle cookie dough before you roll it in sugar and cinnamon, because of the cream of tartar and other stuff. Not that I eat cookie dough, but I don't not eat cookie dough.
Funny story about, well, not funny story, but cookie dough story. Whenever I had a bad day at work, back when grocery stores were open, 24 hours, I would just go to the grocery store and get a gallon of milk, a roll of cookie dough, and a package of pepperoni. And I would just sit in my car in the parking lot and just eat until I was like, okay, I can go home now. Weird comfort foods, but whatever.
Sugar cookie? Not quite.
No, I was just going to answer no,
Not
because it's
quite.
not the sugar. It has that difference that the cream of tartar adds to it. That little extra.
Yeah, this one I
But
just
definitely before you roll it in the cinnamon and sugar.
All right. We'll come back to some final thoughts on this, but I want to remind everyone that next Monday is a return of an evening with Peter Naum from Northern Waters Distillery. We'll be talking with what's been going on there since the last time we talked with him, probably about 2 years ago now. And we'll be sampling some of their double barrel Spring Fever and the Poacher's Rye Whiskey, which are both 43%, but when I snipped a little bit of them while I was sending out samples, I was surprised what I got for 43. How about that? It's one of those, an interesting one at that level. So
They had some very nice. I mean, last time we had them, very nice and surprising whiskeys. I can say there was especially that one that wine finished one that was a one-off. Man, that was good.
yes,
that was a really, really good whiskey, but that with that finish on there, it was like that was classy.
yeah,
Very well done.
And they're one of the places that in northern Wisconsin, at Minocqua is kind of like a touristy, kind of like Door County. If you've been here, it's very, it's kind of tourist attraction, but like a little more old fashioned to some extent, where they're, you're going to an ice cream parlor. There's sorts of things you wouldn't see in bigger cities a lot of times.
And they were doing a lot of live music and stuff early on too.
I was going to say they're now in the new distillery, and they do a lot of live music on Friday and Saturday night as part of it. It's a place a lot of people go to, and I always like that if you're having like concerts that create their own buzz on their own, and then people are just coming to try stuff for you. I know it almost works backwards, because a lot of times people will want to be this is the distillery, and here's some music, but actually focusing on who you're bringing into the distillery matters, as far as people's enjoyment. And I don't know. I think that makes a big difference. Like that, focusing on it brings people to taste your product rather than, I don't know, where it seems like it's more backstage at the event. That's a big breath.
So, I went back to the smoked after having the unsmoked.
It's a really good idea. Oh shit.
Wow.
Ooh, that's heavier, man. Right on the nose.
Yeah, it is.
Oh man.
Sweetened it up.
So I finally figured out the note that I was getting from this. It's just very weird. So you said those iced cookies earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I get the blue icing sans sugar, like just that blue flavor. It's what I'm tasting.
Like blue drink.
I mean, like I'm serious, right? Because it's not, the sweetness is honey, and it's completely separate from whatever that is.
Oh. So I work in generically work in packaging. We do a lot of food packaging, and we do a lot of frozen stuff, including a lot of ice creams. And there are multiple flavors of ice cream, especially when you get to light vanilla, French vanilla, homemade vanilla, and all the other stuff. We were doing stuff for a southern grocery store chain, and looking at all the vanillas. Usually vanillas, or a lot of them, there was a bluish color for all the vanillas, and there was blatantly like baby blue, like a royal blue, and an almost black blue. And they said, you got to change those because those are too close. How are those too close together? And the guy was just adamant. He's like, those are too close. You have to change those. You can't do that. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm really missing something here because this is whatever. And then the guy said, okay, look, where a lot of our stores are, people don't send people to the grocery store to buy things that they're going to read what the container says. They say, go buy the blue ice cream. And it was like, wow. And then so we had to modify a lot of colors because
You gotta be
people
accurate.
go to the store for the blue ice cream, not the light
blue.
vanilla, because they don't read it. Like,
That's fair.
wow. I mean, it's understandable, anyway, but that was, when you said that.
Wow, going back to that other one, man, is that the mesquite wood comes across a lot more for me now.
Mhm.
Oh, that's...
I get no more berries, no more cream.
But the mesquite wood is just like, I don't want to say takes over, but it's mid-level and it's all over the finish.
It's like a smoked frosted cookie.
It's just it's smoked malt. Like,
what's wrong with
nothing
that?
bad about it, but jeez.
Oh man,
Incredibly wild.
I'm gonna put. I've got about a drop of the unsmoked. I'm gonna put it in here too and see what that does. Let's see if that makes it a little bit more. I'm killing the samples, so I might as well kill them right.
I'm going to do my blend.
Oh, yeah, I don't have enough to blend, so I'm just gonna.
Oh, there we just shrink away,
buddy.
All right, here. My crowded barrel, the I launched crowded barrel whiskey glass. Oh, that kind of muted some of the mesquite wood, obviously. Way under in the background.
Whoa. A smoked Twinkie.
Whoa. Who said that? Because that's like very accurate to what I was sniffing here. Like, it's lighter. You get the cream. Damn. You're not even... Did you give her some, Mitch?
Smoked Twinkies?
No.
What? I'm very confused here. I'm sorry.
I thought you gave her some of the whiskey because, like, the blend I have, like, as soon as she said that, I was like, well, yeah, that is what I'm getting. Is smoked Twinkies right now, like my blend between the two.
She's at the house, right? Like, she has a life and to go to bed and get up in the morning and all those other things, all of which makes me very sad. But I was trying to guilt her into coming over here, but she was like, no. I was like, that's fair.
All in due time. Is your camera inverted, or did Ben switch sides? Is he
He,
migrating?
he moves around. Just depends on which mood he's in.
Country ham?
No regrets, man.
No regrets.
What's country? Gertz.
Yeah.
All right.
I like this.
So I tried to blend it 50-50. It's not good.
Nope. It loses a lot. It almost gets maple syrupy. Nope. Don't blend them. That's a bad idea.
So I'm going to try
Yeah,
just the...
I had mostly smoked with a little bit of the unsmoked, and I like that.
I'm doing mostly unsmoked with a little bit of the smoked now, and we'll see.
Okay.
No, I'm going back to one of the other ones.
Oh, that's what you need to do right there.
I don't know. Just go back to the
I'm out.
unsmoked one.
Yeah, I know.
The pear. Right now, after going back and forth to this one and coming after getting the more mesquite coming back here, the pear. Man,
Kilkeegan is one of the distilleries, especially American distilleries, that if they said you could only drink this for the next 6 months to a year, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I can
I
handle that.
would do it. Yeah, I like Kilkeegan.
Let's not even get into some of their other stuff either.
No,
Like they have vodka gin. They got a couple other things going on as well. So, all right, I'm going to set the glasses over here. Actually, I need one to toast out on. So I'm going to grab one more.
I'm toasting out with water.
All right. Fair
You
enough.
have a shelf of whiskey behind
Okay,
you.
I'll pour something else.
Are you
I got
gonna
an
do a
idea.
Bottle pull?
Mm,
Is that what you're
no,
doing?
I have another glass, and I know what I can grab.
He's being all classy.
Iron Root Harbinger Tri-Barrel Solstice Edition with the fancy pot metal crest on it.
That stuff is so good. It's not
All
even fair.
hail the gingers.
Likes just like flex.
So
He's over here.
I am
No
very
flex, no
weird,
flex.
which some of y'all might have noticed by now. And we had a whiskey bar open in town, and I accidentally met one of the managers. And I was like, love whiskey, especially like Texas whiskey is getting to be a big thing. And he's like, no, it's not. I was like, would you mind if I brought some whiskey and proved you wrong? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And he did not expect me to show up with every Texas whiskey I owned. And he did not expect every Texas whiskey I owned to be as many. So I rocked up to his bar, right, with like 3 or 4 cases of whiskey and was like, all right, you're going to like one of these. Like, deal with it. And that one, he was like, oh my God. This isn't just good Texas whiskey. This is one of the best whiskeys I've had in my life. Yeah. I was trying to get a bottle the last time I went to Austin and bring it back, but I didn't check a bag. So it was like, well, sorry, dog. That's on me.
That's good.
All right.
I might have poured too much, but that's all right.
That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. So, but that's what I mean. Stop in next Monday because we'll be talking to Peter. That'll actually be a really neat show. I'm happy to kind of kick back off with an evening with, and we'll have some other ones coming up in April that are being worked out, but they'll be neat. Edelbrand is one of them. We'd sampled one of their things recently, and Mike's been all over some of it at samplings in your local area, which is cool because not many places have samplings or have reps that go do what you think they're supposed to do by going to a place and putting it on. It's a little rarer than you think.
And we don't have, I mean, there are some stores around me, especially some smaller ones, they will do tastings, but not as many as a lot of other places. Like we don't have a Total Wine here yet. We're supposed to get a Total Wine, which does do more tastings. We've got a competitor to Total Wine that does do some tastings, but not really full-blown ones. So I try to pay attention when they do the reps, and just so happened 2 weeks in a row, Edelbrand was once down the street and the other time on the way to the concert that Kevin and I went to. So that was a lot of fun.
Very, very cool. Well, we look forward to seeing everyone next week. Mike,
Absolutely.
Mitch, thanks for stopping in tonight and hanging out with me while we sip down some of these whiskeys. It's just another
Thank y'all.
reinforcement of it was very, very good. We just got your opinion on it.
That's delicious.
Yeah, both.
Gonna have to spend more money. Right.
Oh, well, it's not a bad.
Colin's got a great product, that's for sure.
It really does.
And what the neat thing about that is it hasn't changed between different distillers that came through. You know, it's not like, oh, this one. So you could tell like these two were down. It's one of those ones like still, no matter who has been there as a distiller, it's been consistently aging the way you would want it to, no matter who the distiller was there at the time. So that's just neat. All right. I gotta get back over here. So remember, it's not the size of the den that matters. It's the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Cheers.